Hello everyone, I am the Canadian Gaming Penguin. So, my plans for a single Gold Saucer video didn't go as planned. The touring around and explaining stuff was edited down to about 48 minutes, which I feel is still way too long. Thus, I've decided to scrap my original plan and just have a shorter mini-series of the different mini-games that can be found in the Gold Saucer. This way I can elaborate on them a bit more and also give some tips for them. I will have separate videos for the more major mini-games like Triple Triad, Chocobo Racing, and Lord of Verminion. In today's episode will be a tour around the Manderville Gold Saucer. I will be pointing out the different mini-games that can be found in each area of the Manderville Gold Saucer as we get to them, especially since I didn't do that in my Final Fantasy XIV guide episode on the Gold Saucer. So, let's try again. In the entrance square, we have a number of different NPCs. If I bring up the map here, we can see that I'm in the entrance square. And we also have a lot of players. We actually have a few more NPCs than usual. Over here, we have the Yokai Watch NPCs, which will be here until patch 5.4, which will be sometime in December. Over here, we have the Make It Rain campaign NPCs, which will be here until November 20th, 2020. The regular and always around NPCs are behind the counter here, and a couple of other NPCs such as that one and one over there, but that one only gives you quests. Anyways, the first NPC that you will likely interact with is this NPC who, as I mentioned in the Final Fantasy XIV guide episode, that will then direct you to speak to other NPCs on a tour around the Gold Saucer. Other than that, he holds really no purpose, except that he does explain a number of the different things to some degree. We also have this NPC over here that can exchange gil for MGP, but there's no reason to do this, plus you only can exchange gil for MGP if you have less than 500 MGP, and it's super easy to get more than 500 MGP. If you do the tour quests and other introductory quests found in the Gold Saucer, you will be well on your way to having a fair amount of MGP right off the bat. Another NPC is the Prize Claim NPC, where we have prizes to exchange for. Before you look too closely at this NPC though, you will want to look at this NPC, the campaign attendant, who is part of the Make It Rain campaign, as I mentioned a moment ago, because this campaign attendant actually has discounted prices for the different rewards in the Gold Saucer. Not all of them, but a good many of them. This campaign attendant also has some exclusive rewards that are related to the Make It Rain campaign event. Once the event is done, of course, talk to this NPC. Right nearby, there's also this NPC, the Mini Cactpot Broker, who sells scratch ticket type of things. Every day we can buy 3 tickets. These tickets will reward as little as 36 MGP and as much as 10,000 MGP. With the Make It Rain campaign event, add a 50% bonus to those amounts. There is also this NPC that will offer a hairstyle for you in exchange for MGP, and these hairstyles become available when you call upon a certain peculiar pink-haired individual who you first meet in Limsa. More on that in a future video. 3 other NPCs that are over here are the Independent Arms Mender, this Tab Keeper who sells additional items such as food, and some Manderville Gold Saucer themed housing items. These are all exchanged for gil, not MGP. And we also have this Triple Triad Trader. The Triple Triad Trader will offer to sell you Triple Triad cards for MGP and will also give you the option of trading Triple Triad cards for MGP. Whenever you have duplicate cards, this is where you want to go to sell them. There is also a Triple Triad card trader over there in the Triple Triad Square, which is where we are off to next. The Triple Triad Square is located just off of the entrance square right here. The square is also where you need to register for upcoming Triple Triad tournaments by speaking to this NPC. This NPC will also tell you whether or not there is an upcoming tournament or a tournament currently going on. Oh, and there is also this, certain pink-haired Lalafell, who I didn't actually notice was here until a little while ago, or I simply forgot that she was here. And I'm of course talking about Tataru, or Tataru's identical twin, who apparently also likes Triple Triad. We also have the Triple Triad Master right here, who will introduce you to the game of Triple Triad. He will also explain a number of different things about Triple Triad, and as I mentioned a moment ago, we also have the Triple Triad Trader here. The Triple Triad is a card game, and it does require a bit of strategy and a whole lot of collecting. Collecting Triple Triad cards, that is. Now moving on and up the elevator, we are going to head into the Chocobo Square. In this square, we have access to Chocobo Racing, the Lord of Verminion, and 2 arcade-style minigames that cannot be found anywhere else in the Gold Saucer. We'll get into that in a second. Over here, we have a giant chicken, a giant mini Chocobo, which leads us to the Chocobo Racing area. Here you will have a quest that will unlock the Chocobo Racing, but first it will take you to the Central Shroud. So that is the Black Shroud, Central Shroud, and over here. There are Chocobo stables there. Conveniently, there is also a summoning bell for retainers that can be found here, so if you need one, you don't have to teleport away or head back down the elevator. Now as we head to the Lord of Verminion area, we will come across a couple of arcade-style games. Yes, there was an arcade-style game back by the Chocobo area, Cuff-a-cur, but that can be found in another location in the Gold Saucer. These 2 games, the Finer Minor and Out on a Limb, can only be found on this floor. These 2 games are also the most lucrative arcade-style minigames. I don't usually play them because I'm not good at them, and I also don't usually come up to this floor either. Anyways, moving on to the Lord of Verminion area. The Lord of Verminion is a game for minions where you control your minions to attempt to destroy your opponent's Arcana Stones. The opponent will either be AI or another player. It will depend on what type of match you are playing. In order to play the game, you will need at least 3 minions. The game does take a bit of time to learn, but there are good tutorials to explain how the game works. I haven't done these tutorials on this character yet, and I haven't finished them on any of my other characters, but I definitely want to, because if I load up the achievements here, if I complete 4 different Lord of Verminion tournaments with double-digit victories, I will get this Penguin Prince minion. I really want this Penguin minion. I really need to start working on this. There is also tournaments for the Lord of Verminion, which we could see that with the achievement for the Penguin Minion. The NPC for the tournament is over here. The NPC for the tournaments is over here, and the leaderboard is also over here. This NPC over here also sells minions. 3 of these minions are sold for a gil, which will come in handy if you don't have 3 minions and want to try out the Lord of Verminion. The Cherry Bomb minion is apparently also used in the crafting recipe for the Kotatsu table, things you learn when you're creating these videos. Anyways, these 3 minions that are bought with gil are also available to purchase in the starting city-states as well. The minions that are for MGP can only be traded for MGP in the Gold Saucer, either from this NPC or from the NPC in the entrance square. Also in this area is the Moogle's Paw arcade-style minigame. This minigame can also be found in another location in the Gold Saucer. Moving back down to the main floor, we'll head over to the round square. Before we get there, though, we can see that there is an Aetheryte and 2 summoning bells, 1 there and 1 over here, and a bunch of seating area as well. I definitely recommend attuning to the Aetheryte. And the round square is just over here, so we will head over here. Now, in the round square, which, by the way, how is a square round? Well, while we contemplate that, let me say what occurs here. Nothing! No, I'm just kidding. We have 3 different gates here. Air Force 1, Cliffhanger, the Mount Corel version, and the 2 different versions of Leap of Faith. Air Force 1 and Leap of Faith are both instant queues, so if you are in a queue for a duty, unfortunately you'll have to leave these queues in order to participate in them. The only other thing of notice in this area is the Gatekeeper. The Gatekeeper will tell you which gate is coming up and at what time. They will also ask if you would like to participate in the gate, which if answered yes will teleport you directly to the location where the gate begins. Moving on to the Wonder Square, which is found over here. In the Wonder Square, we can see another Gatekeeper and a couple of NPCs over here. These NPCs, the Masked Rose and Kasumi, are part of the Fashion Report. The Fashion Report is not quite a contest, but it does judge you on your attire to the weekly theme. The Fashion Report is a great way to obtain MGP each week. By just participating, you can earn 10,000 MGP, 15,000 MGP with the Make It Rain campaign right now. When you score 80 points, you will get 50,000 MGP plus the 10,000 MGP for participating. With the event, that amount is 75,000 MGP for a grand total of 90,000 MGP in 1 week if you score an 80. As you accumulate more points with participation in the Fashion Report, you will unlock additional rewards in Kasumi's shop, which is accessible by talking to her. There is also a gate that will occur here, the El Colosso version of Cliffhanger. Also in the Wonder Square, we have the Monster Toss little minigame as well. And we have the Crystal Tower Striker. Now we see this pool of water. Well, this is actually a type of water elevator. If we stand on it, we will shoot right up here and have quick access to the upper floor. Instead of having to use the stairs, we can also find 2 water elevators in the event square, down over here. Over here we have a little bar area for sitting, but over here we have the Domain Mahjong area. Here we have different difficulties which will allow players to play against NPCs, the Novice Mahjong table, the Intermediate Mahjong table, and the Advanced Mahjong table. Alternatively, you can also open up the Duty Finder and the Gold Saucer here. There are Mahjong tables there as well. We also have the NPC tutorial Mahjong teacher here, so Mahjong rules, and we'll see this whole host of things. I'm still a novice to Domain Mahjong, so there isn't much I can explain. Instead, I will leave the link to the Domain Mahjong guide that can be found on the Lodestone. Much of what is said on there is also said in this tutorial bit as well. Hopping down from this area, we are going to head into the event square. Right away, we can see that there is another Gatekeeper, and behind her is a massive stage. On this stage, 2 different gates occur. Any way the wind blows, and the slice is right. Along the outer ring of this area, we can see that there are 2 different areas with mini games as well. We have Cuff-a-cur over here, and the Moogle's Paw over here. If we use this water elevator, we will shoot up here. And over here, we have the Jumbo Cactpot area. The Jumbo Cactpot is a lottery system that has a draw every week. This is also a good way to get MGP, but the odds of winning the jackpot is very low. Players can buy 3 tickets and will always get at the very minimum a participation reward. And that is the quick tour around the Manderville Gold Saucer. In the next episode of the mini-series, I will be explaining how both the mini and jumbo cactpots work, and also the arcade-style minigames. The following video will be about how Triple Triad works, then the following video after that will be about each of the different gates. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. If you liked this video, please hit that like button. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching!